All right, here we go. It is time to get things underway. Georgia Taylor-Brown, Olympic gold medalist, one of 3 competing today.
Cassandra Beaugrand, amazing in the water, amazing runner, just equaled the fastest run in the heat we've ever seen in Arena Games racing.
And there is another of our Olympic gold medalists, Jess Learmonth, but it's all about Beth Potter, the champion from Munich. And we're about to get underway here in London. 2:12 is the record for the swim, and look for that to fall today in this first swim.
And Beaugrand out very, very fast there in red. She's already gapped Potter over the first 50. We saw this in the heat. She went out in that first 100 very, very fast, but looks great. But it's surprisingly she's in front of Jess Learmonth, who usually starts very, very quickly.
Look for Learmonth to work her way into this one. She's so strong in the heat. She biked away from the field. Now, we should mention again that there is no draft in Zwift this time around, so a change in agreement with World Triathlon, taking it back to, I guess, pre-Sydney 2000 Olympics, where there was no drafting in ITU racing. It's really what essentially now is an easily policed TT. It's pure power. That's it. Swim, bike and run, nothing else. Will we see a sub 2:12? 200 to start Arena Games in London. Will we see a record fall? That's Potter in the middle of your
Potter
screen.
in the middle. You see Georgia Taylor-Brown in the pink in about 5th position.
2:10,
Burley in the
2:11, 2:12.
Fast swim.
And Beaugrand touches in 2:12, equaling.
Slow exit by Beaugrand.
Now transitions are so important in this style of racing. Everything goes into the box. Learmonth follows around from Potter, Taylor-Brown and Brugmeyer. And the transition onto the bike.
Great transition, Cassandra Beaugrand. She is in the zone, Cassandra Beaugrand. I think she thinks she can win this.
No drafting, so there is no pack behind her. Normally Potter and Learmonth, and indeed Beaugrand, would all be working together to move away from Brugmeyer, Taylor-Brown and Rangeley, but now it's pure
Potter's
power. Potter at more than 5.5 watts a kilo as up on Beaugrand, as is Learmonth.
Oh, this is great. The 3 big names of the sport, with Georgia Taylor-Brown just trailing them.
Learmonth really putting the time into the field at the back end of this. She'll come off the bike, probably 3 seconds clear of Potter and nearly 10 seconds clear of Beaugrand.
It's a 2-person race here. Jess needs to get a really, really quick transition. 3 seconds. When you look at their run splits, when you look at their fastest times through the runs,
it's more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, Potter's about 5 or 6 seconds quicker than Learmonth's best, so... And she's closed that gap in transition straight away.
Look at that.
She shut that down.
The shoes go on.
Boom.
And they're onto the self-powered trainer.
And that's on and up.
She leans forward in a few quick steps.
Terrible transition.
Yeah, that was a terrible transition, and she's going to pay for it now because Potter has a fantastic run. Look at the pace on Beaugrand, though. She is a good kilometre faster than anybody else. She's taken, it was 9 seconds, it's now 5 seconds.
Moving up on Learmonth's transition has cost her dearly as Beaugrand is closing in.
Beaugrand's going to get her here. There's still 700 odd metres to go. And Beaugrand is going to go straight past Jess Learmonth. You can see it in the back of your screen. And then here comes Cassandra Beaugrand. Who runs down Beth Potter in Arena Games format? That's correct.
Nobody and she is going to catch her. Look at that on screen. Cassandra Beaugrand, when this woman is on, she is on, and she's going to catch Beth Potter.
Now, she's had a great start to the year, Cassandra Beaugrand. She has never raced Arena Games. She's never raced on a curved, self-powered runner like this.
Straight past Beth Potter.
Well, she's done a Potter to Potter, essentially.
This has to be one of the fastest runs we've ever seen in Arena Games racing. That is Beth Potter, the fastest runner we've ever called in Arena Games racing, who has just had 10 seconds run out of her. And Cassandra Beaugrand. Wow. What a run, what a race by Cassandra Beaugrand. Beth Potter there in yellow in second. What am I best thinking? That is the first defeat.
Who is this?
Where did you come from?
Where were you in Munich?
After stage 1, it was Cassandra Beaugrand who held a 3-second lead over Beth Potter. The Frenchwoman's brilliant run seeing her reel in and then pass Jess Learmonth and Potter. Learmonth had it all to do after her poor transitions between the bike and run. We pick the action back up in stage 2.
And we start with the run and end in the pool. A little bit different. Very quiet here in London as we get underway right now. Getting the air runner up to speed, and there is our probably the two best runners in female triathlon at the moment.
There's a good contrast on strides. If you saw Beau Graham, the way she got that treadmill up was short strides at the start, and look how long her run gait is in comparison to Georgia Taylor-Brown, the pink to the left of Georgia in red.
The beauty of Zwift is the data, so she would know. There's no looking behind you to see where everyone is. She just looks at the screen. She knows exactly what her gaps are. She can see them getting bigger, and she knows how to measure her way through that. She's looking down at the screen right now. She's watching where everyone is behind her without having to turn around, without having to change her gait or stride or anything. And she's put 100 metres into the distant yellow of Beth Potter behind her, who'll be seeing Beau Graham disappear into the distance.
I'm just shaking my head, but you're absolutely right. You see how relaxed she looks. She's at 8 seconds after 600 metres.
Don't forget, in 2 weeks, we will crown our first ever triathlon esports world champion. And there are some athletes out there who want to have a better result. Let's see the men, they're warming up there in the orange on the right. Perhaps that's not exactly true. But you take your best result from either Munich or London, and you add that to your effort in Singapore, which is worth double points, and that's how we crown our triathlon esports world champion. So Beth Potter, essentially, as already off the bike goes Cassandra Beau Graham.
We're going to get a run split here, which will be... Beau Graham has gapped them.
Straight on, straight into the shoes.
Slick transition, boom.
She's
and not another person on the bike. Potter second.
14 seconds ahead of Beth Potter, Beau Graham, and that, what was it, 2:56? That was a 2:45.
She is flogging them. It's unbelievable racing by Cassandra Beau Graham. I've never seen Cassandra Beau Graham in form like this. It's remarkable.
I think that is in the top 3
of the
men's runs.
Yeah,
all held by Alex G.
Yeah, Alex G ran 2:36 in the heats today, our fastest ever
Next
run.
was 2:41.
Then 2:41.
So and then Benson ran a 2:42, and then I think it's Beau Graham at a 2:45.
Wow. You know, look at Georgia Taylor-Brown, 16 and a half seconds back after 1 kilometre of racing. 1 kilometre of run racing, 1 kilometre bike racing. You would never have called that in a million years. Cassandra Beau Graham, remarkable form. Beth Potter will be rattled from this. You can see it in her face, that comfort from Munich that we saw, that dominance in Munich. We just didn't see that look on Beth Potter. And
she had one of the lowest heart rates too from Munich.
Jess glancing across going, what has happened? I thought I'd come here and blow the cobwebs out. 25 seconds back, Jess Learmonth in 4th place.
This is what we envisaged when Arena Games was born a couple of years ago, was full stadiums watching a whole triathlon and not watching people come past on a lap, get that whole experience, get the stadium feel of it, and that's what we're experiencing for the first time. We had a cap on the people that we could have in Munich, but here in London, they're watching 3 home favourites all try and chase down this woman. She's about to cross the line, which means she's going to transition. There she goes, off the bike and into the swim. The cheer just rippling around London because they don't necessarily want to see Cassandra Beau Graham street the competition, but...
She's got plenty of time. Plenty of time. She's the fastest swimmer from that opening stage. The question is, does she take her time now, or does she keep that gap, open that gap up to give her a bigger margin of error? Be interested to see just how hard she goes out. Beth Potter's got a big swim, best big pool swim. But Georgia Taylor-Brown's close enough.
Yeah, so much improvement in Beth Potter's swim and bike. And they managed to get him on okay. 50 to go in stage 2, and it is all the red of Cassandra Beau Graham who is holding that gap and maybe even extending it a little bit over Beth Potter. It was 13 seconds at the last turn. Cassandra Beau Graham also with the highest watts per kilogram in that. You said she was working hard on the bike. 4.9 watts a kilogram to Learmonth, 4.8, Potter 4.7, Taylor-Brown 4.6. So she dug deep on the bike, and she is enjoying the last 50 of this stage.
That is another dazzling stage by Cassandra Beau Graham. 2 absolute whitewashings of Team GB.
And she gets a little bit more rest as well, and she has earned it. Beau Graham, she's dug a little deep there, but she's going to have some time up her sleeve as Potter is going to finish second in this stage.
Just great swim. Great swim by Jess Learmonth.
It was another phenomenal stage from Cassandra Beaugrand, who extended her lead over Beth Potter in second, her run again doing the damage. Jess Learmonth and Georgia Taylor-Brown in third and fourth were within striking distance of Potter, but the British trio all had a mountain to climb if they were to catch the dominant Frenchwoman. And those two stage wins translated to a 21-second head start for Cassandra Beaugrand over Munich winner Beth Potter. And with Learmonth and Taylor-Brown all within 30 seconds of the Scot, the Battle of the Brits was hotting up nicely for the home crowd.
Off she goes, Beaugrand, and she'll swim away. So now all the gaps have stopped. Everything has been wiped. Once you pay for it here, it's a straight up swim bike run to the finish line.
And she's not waiting around. Nice six-speed kick going straight off the wall. Going out very, very hard. Her turns are remarkable, Cassandra Beaugrand. That's where she opened up in that opening race. There goes Beth Potter now.
Still can't get over those runs. 2:45 and 2:56. Potter also ran at 2:57 in the second one, but still got put in the shade, didn't she? As here comes Beaugrand to finish her 200 in the pool, and out she gets. A
Nice
2:16. Well, 2:12 was the record, and that's a stage 3 swim from Beaugrand, who, well, she does look composed, doesn't she?
Looks
She doesn't
very
look
relaxed.
like she's rushing.
And her transitions have been spot on. Those shoes well set up. Again, feet in, gone. Jess Learmonth closing in on Beth Potter. I know Beth Potter has the big run. Potter's given up on Beaugrand. She
What does
realises
she
the
need,
fight
though, now?
between Learmonth and Potter.
Learmonth is more incentivised
Without
to
question.
take this run out. Not that Potter's going to take a foot off the gas.
Learmonth doesn't have that run. We haven't seen her put in those sub-3 minute or sub-3:05 runs from Learmonth. So she needs that margin of error. She's closing in. She still has a kilometre of riding to go. I would never have called the performance I saw today from Cassandra Beaugrand on that run. That is remarkable running. And I think all the GB athletes are going to walk away from this a little bit bruised, regardless of where they end up. I think they're going to go back to the drawing board and think, wow, how do we attack that come Singapore?
That head locked into place with the slight tilt that everybody has when they're really digging deep, and off she goes. Again, out of the shoes so well.
Into her strongest discipline. Into her strongest discipline. Cassandra Beaugrand off the bike, and it's the fastest runner ever, the female ranks in Arena Games racing.
Does she do a Jess Learmonth and absolutely push herself to breaking point to win this? Or does she victory lap at home? And 2 seconds now is the gap, and there is no gap between Potter and Learmonth. Can Jess Learmonth find a run? Can she have a good transition, first of all? Potter does. No, not as fast.
Not as good as Potter. And not as quick to speed as Beth was.
And Beaugrand's put another few seconds into Potter.
20.3 kilometres an hour. You look, contrast the faces, contrast the perception of fatigue. Beth Potter, you can see the work, you can see the concentration. Jess Learmonth there, really, really working hard, trying to get that running rhythm going. If they give us a shot of Cassandra Beaugrand, she looks like so in control, yet running ridiculously fast.
Yeah, she's, well, look at that, 18.5. She's now going to be over 30 seconds. There she is.
Candle out. She looks so relaxed. That's a great shot. Potter very, very focused. A lot more action, a lot tighter through the arms.
The only time I look that relaxed during a run is when I'm sort of running to the fridge from the couch during an ad break. Well, she's lost 6 seconds there in the 800 metres. Jess Learmonth, who's going to end up with the bronze, and Georgia Taylor-Brown is a further 22 seconds back off Learmonth. And a 4th place for her ahead of Audrey Merle, who we haven't spoken about basically at all. Sian Rainsley, Petra Kurakova, Kate Woff, and Annabelle Knoll, who's now 2:21 in arrears, and off the back is Bragmeyer. But it's Cassandra Beaugrand with 70 metres to go. Well, Beth Potter laid down the gauntlet in Munich, and Cassandra Beaugrand has picked it up, moved it forward and laid it down again. could she be our first triathlon esports world champion? She certainly moved into the favourites position. Cassandra Beaugrand.
Bravo, Cassandra Beaugrand.
Beth Potter, well, what a very different race for her. She's having to push it to the end with Jess Learmonth behind her, but I'm in awe of what Cassandra Beaugrand has delivered in front of two of the form athletes, well, three of the form athletes of the past 12 months.
Especially over this Arena Games racing. Potter and Learmonth have owned this. They've done, well done Beth Potter, great race. Cassandra Beaugrand has done today to Beth Potter and Jess Learmonth what they've done to every other woman in Arena Games racing. And we never imagined that. We'd never have called that. Jess Learmonth, great performance. Blown the cobwebs out.
Yeah, our top three, our podium, all Arena Games winners. So the cream rising to the top. But this time, there was absolutely no stopping Cassandra Beaugrand.
And there's confirmation of our victor, a hugely impressive Cassandra Beaugrand controlling the race from start to finish. Munich champion Beth Potter had to settle for second, with Olympic gold medalist Jess Learmonth rounding out the podium in third place. However, the story of London was all about dominant debutante Beaugrand.
Cassandra Beaugrand, you are the London Arena Games champion. Tell us about your first experience here racing the Arena Games. How does it feel?
It's very brutal, to be fair, like very hard, very painful. I was struggling this morning a bit, so I was afraid for the final, but then I felt better, so yeah, I think I was better this afternoon.
What a performance, and all roads now lead to Singapore and the championship finals. Our overall champion being decided via a point system, combining each athlete's best result from Munich or London. That means Munich champion Beth Potter and our champion here, Cassandra Beaugrand, lead the way and take 250 points forward. But with the winner in Singapore collecting 500 points, there are plenty of athletes still in the mix.